the Bolo V. Ooh. And we're here in the space again. All I ask is that y'all hit that like button. Thank you very much. Coming through the door, share the live. Don't keep it to yourself. No, I have to do this one over for audio purposes. TNT Minister limits Vybz Kartel movement in the country. Alright, and that's this gentleman right here on your screen. He is the Minister of Defense. Yes, so here we go. It says here in the article that Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago Defense Minister Wayne Stroop has reportedly issued an immigration order against dancehall artist Vybz Kartel, who is scheduled to perform in the country later this month. That his travel itinerary be cut according to the reports from Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. Vybz Kartel, who was given the name Adidja Palmer, is scheduled to perform in Trinidad and Tobago May 31st. However, Scrooge, or is that Scrooge? Or Scrooge has reportedly blocked Vybz Kartel from participating in the morning radio show, a midday TV appearance, and a local press drop-in on May 27th. Additionally, he has been barred from participating in a meet and greet, a visit to a school or youth center, and a cultural lunch with the community leaders on May 28th. According to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, the minister has noted that these restrictions stem from Vybz Kartel's or Mr. Palmer's past legal troubles, raising concern about him interacting with the country's vulnerable youth, particularly as his conviction was not based on merit but on a legal technicality. Now, let me continue. Kartel was freed from prison on July 31st last year after 13 years behind bars for the unaliving of his friend Clive Lizard Williams. His conviction was overturned by the United Kingdom Privy Council, which cited misconduct on the part of the jury. That decision was upheld by Jamaica's Court of Appeal. Now, I want you guys to remember, ladies and gentlemen, that what's her name? Spice was one of those that, you know, there was controversy over her having a school tour. Well, I don't know what you guys think about this one. I'm definitely not defending Vybz Kartel on this one. I'm not throw him under the bus neither. I understand both sides of the spectrum, where the juror, the lawyer saying, well, we don't know if he really did the crime, so we don't want him to influence our youth. It was just a technicality. If they had done their job properly, he probably would be in prison. I think that's what he's saying. And, you know, how can you go argue that down? I don't know. I don't know how you're going to argue that down. But in terms of his music and stuff like that, him meeting with the youth and influencing the youth, yo, Vybz Kartel influence is Vybz Kartel influence. Even if them don't put him in front of the television, him still gonna have influence, you know. But I can see why he would want to minimize the influence. Alright? All I would say is that I don't know this gentleman and his moral standpoint and how he, you know, he looks at things. The only thing I would question him on, which is not in defense of Vybz Kartel, is he saying that a legal technicality is something that, you know, he would not have ruled in favor of Vybz Kartel? Because there is, you know, people out there in terms of in law and like attorneys that would bend the rules of law because they believe and in themselves know in themselves or believe in themselves that the person is guilty of a crime. So they would do any little thing for them to be locked up. No credit? So I think that is the perspective of which this gentleman is coming from with Vybz Kartel. And I think Vybz Kartel is going to have this type of issue when he goes into other countries, because you don't know who is the personnel there and how they think. You know what I mean? And how they view things. Credit for your phone you're talking? Oh, you want to call somebody? Oh, sit here. You have to take the call out there, so you know, because I don't want to disturb the life. Hold this. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about that and give me your perspective. I just think that the lawyer right here, this part right here is a kind of suspect to me. You know, he says it wasn't based on merit. Merit, that means he doesn't believe that Vybz Kartel is actually innocent. He believes it's a technicality why he got off. And probably he's viewing Vybz Kartel as a criminal. Probably he views Vybz Kartel as a criminal deep down. But him don't want to say it. But him are using powers them to block off as much as he influence from the children them as possible. That's what I read from it. But I think it's an interesting situation. And I would love to hear the many different stands that you guys have. Una different Vybz Kartel from that one, yeah? Like on a different spice, cause no for different spices, spice to go go up on school tour and go influence the youth them, you know. Well, anything God say that me I work with. If God say him not to do it, and God no, if God not pleased with him doing it, I'm not pleased either. That's how me left it. Anything God say that me I work with. Anyway, moving right along. Just as I said, let me know what you think about that in the comment section, alright?